Hey, I'm Goldwem, and I'm a freelance digital artist.
Welcome to Character Design 101. This isn't a tutorial, but a look at how I personally create characters and what I think about during each step. This is my first video for my YouTube channel, so I'm still figuring things out and open to suggestions on how to make this better. Feel free to leave your ideas in the comments. I hope you enjoy seeing my process. Write down the keywords to describe the vibe, the visual themes, and the purpose of the character. Plus, I also enjoy making pun names for the characters. Gather the essential references that will most affect your character's visuals. The first thing I do is sketch a basic body and pose, trying to figure out what sort of proportions works best for the character. Here you will see me measure the character's proportions at 7 heads tall, which is usually a very realistic proportion for female characters. But since I'm going for a more cute and short character, I will make the head, hands, and feet a tad bigger, making the proportions 6 heads tall. After being happy with the proportions, the next step is to look for a more open, idle pose. I need a simple pose that suits the character best. Nothing too fancy or dynamic. I want to keep it simple because I plan on giving the character a thicker astronaut suit. I want to make sure there isn't much overlapping between the body and the arms for a cleaner silhouette. I end up liking the last pose better. It's more open, has a much better silhouette, and I feel like it matches the energetic character vibe the most. Now I'll do a quick cleanup of this pose, making sure to add some markings for the next step.
One more job, it can't be worse. Chasing colors on a frame.
Next step is to fill in a flat gray color, make a few copies, and start testing some design ideas. You will see me jumping back to the references a few times to decide what I will borrow to build this character. The main idea was to make the astronaut helmet into a light bulb and scatter some cat motifs around the design. At this point, I decided to try 3 main things. Have the design top-heavy in detail for the thick suit. Have an outlet cable for the cat-like tail and the big sneakers, and with the light bulb helmet. I have settled on the main features I want the character to have. Now it's just about experimenting with design and hairstyles that will work best with those ideas. I already had a good idea for the face, and I wanted to keep it simple. Since I had a more defined idea for this character, it was easier to try on variations. For example, I knew I wanted the hair to have 2 pointy bits to sort of mimic a light bulb. The main issue I want to solve with these variations is the transition between a thick suit and the more tight-fitting pants. In this last variation, I tried making the top part of the design a bit broader to give a more fun silhouette. This is when the idea clicked, having a puffy jacket parted in the middle. I really liked that. After that, I also decided to make the top part asymmetrical. I was already liking this last design a lot, but I was still unsure about the hair. I still wanted it to have 2 pointy bits sticking upwards, but I wanted the hair to look unique. Having all 3 lined up really helps me see which one of the designs looks the most fun and energetic and fits my initial idea the best. This means I'll start cleaning it up and adjusting some details, trying to implement more of the cat-like themes in the design.
Shadows creeping, doubts invade, but true art will never fade.
Every time I want to make bigger and bolder changes to the design, I always make a copy and put it side by side. This way I can compare the versions without worrying about losing anything. I really felt like the character's pose was starting to look too tight and closed. I also noticed I was losing some negative space when I started bulking up some areas of the design. So here you will see me move the limbs a bit away from the body so that I can bring that negative space back. I also started to remove some excessive sketch lines. I think the character started to look too busy and unbalanced. So here I'll clean up some areas and remove the excessive details. I'm starting to really enjoy the direction of this design, so I'll start a rough cleanup so that I can jump into trying some colors. Now I'll fill in the character with a flat middle gray to start prepping the color scheme. But before that, I also use this opportunity to check if the silhouette is looking good and readable.
Digital wizard, dreams not gone. Every stroke a battle won. Canvas calls my name, come on.
I'm starting with some generic colors similar to the ones from the reference, and some fun contrasting colors for the hair. But overall, right now I'm more concerned with separating the materials of each part of the design.
Warrior of dreams, I stand my ground. Creativity, my armor sound. Through valleys deep and mountains high, an artist's spirit will never die. Ink and colors clash and blend. Inspiration's flames ascend. Hard it gets, but I'll defend my passion till the very end. Warrior of dreams, I stand my ground. Creativity, my armor sound.
Next, I wanted to try a darker and colder color scheme, almost inverted, and a neon blue for the energy glowing bits.
Will never die. One bright night I find strength and magic intertwined.
For the last variation, I really wanted to keep the classic orange in the suit, but I wanted to make the jacket look brighter and have a more fun color contrast between the outer and inner part. I also made slight variations to the hair and, in the end, decided to add more sparks and a little extra dye in the hair.
Of dreams, I stand my ground. Creativity, my armor sound. Through valleys.
Even though I really like the second one, I think it's more fitting as a recolor or a skin variation rather than the main color palette. I really like the last one, maybe with some details from the first one, so that's exactly what I'm going to do next. Find a happy middle ground and start cleaning up the colors. I always make copies so that I can color pick between them and also compare the color scheme. I also decided to give her a logo, something simple that plays off her theme, and something that I can implement into her design.
Never die. In the quiet night I find strength and magic intertwined. Though the path
Adding some last small details in the more empty areas and more color variations to give it more interest, and we're almost done.
dreams and grayscale tones. Living life through
Final touches and some cleaning up, adding the helmet reflection effect. Since this is more conceptual, I didn't go all the way into making new clean line art. Instead, I did something I don't do much, which is overpaint on top of the character to fix some flaws. After that, I added simple shading, highlights, and a close-up to the face. I kept everything a bit messy, but hopefully you will like it.
Creative every day. Blurry nights and sleepless dawns.
Hope you enjoy the final results. If you liked it, show your support by following. That way, I will understand that is something you guys would like to see more of. Make sure to comment your next ideas.
Paint the skies and breathe the stars through the fog and the noise of bars. In every line and shade of gray, it's hard to be creative every day.